So how did you first get into barbecue?
Oh my gosh, there's an hour right there. Back when we started, there were no wireless probes. That would have been a dream, to be able to just keep it in a rotisserie, have it spinning, and you're not getting the wire tangled up, or you've got a carousel. And you know, sometimes the smokers that we had some carousel rotisseries for a while, Kingfishers that were made out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. They don't make those anymore. And we just could not use like a wired probe. So it's constantly going in and taking temperatures. Then, okay, do I come back in a half hour? Do I come back in an hour? Where are things at? To leave that lid closed and to keep it cooking with some wireless probes would have been a dream back in the day. Even with the restaurants, we didn't have that opportunity. There weren't wireless probes, constant monitoring, to have it right on your phone through Wi-Fi. All that technology has completely changed the game. And now through companies like Yoder Smokers, you know, you've got FireBoard right on your controller, and it just comes from the factory that way. So you can control that smoker and the set point right through your phone. So you can be at church, your wife may not like it as you're watching your phone. You know, is it fantasy football or is it your smoker? She doesn't know. So something like a pellet grill, you know, maybe it's not tradition, and maybe it's not as romantic as tending a fire with real logs and no charcoal and all that. All that is wonderful, and I love it too. But the ease of pellets, you know, sometimes tools are, you know, a necessary thing just to keep us cooking. And maybe we're not, you know, getting the same flavors out of pellets, but we're able to hone on the flavors of the meat, of the marinades, of the brines, of the rubs, of the sauces. It allows us to play with those flavors and be able to do that every night if we want to. So to me, tools are really, really important. When we first decided to get involved in this thing called competition barbecue, there was one person having a class at the time, and it was Paul Kirk. And Paul Kirk is the Baron of Barbecue, no longer with us, but Barbecue Hall of Famer, really the competition barbecue icon here in Kansas City. And he would do a class at Smoke and Fire in Overland Park. And you know, Paul hadn't been really in the competition game for a while, but it was, so there was some relevance and some not, but it gave us a really good idea of some basics, and we took his class. And in that class, he does a mock competition. So you do a chicken entry, you do a rib entry, you do maybe a pork entry. And so we did this before we went to the judging class at the American Royal, and then we went to Paul Kirk's class, and then we entered our first contest. So the first category that he has you do is chicken, and he has all these seasonings set up, all these ingredients, and he gives you a little formula, and he has you make a seasoning. That was the humble beginnings of this Yardbird 20 years ago. Now there are 9 other products in the PLOWBOYS line, 4 rubs, 5 sauces, and then our bean starter, which we used in the restaurant. You know, I'd rather be a legacy than a legend. I'd rather leave something behind that, you know, so many people invested in me. They gave me advice, they gave me technique, they gave me recipes. Like, so much was given to me that it becomes really important for me to give back as well. And so I like to talk about legacy a lot. And legacy is one of those things that we do that you often don't know you're doing it, and you never will know the outcome. During the time we had the 4 restaurants, we also were the barbecue at Arrowhead Stadium for the Chiefs. We had 4 concession stands, 27 cashiers. I would put six and a half miles on my feet any given game day. It was really one of the things I'm most proud of, to be in Kansas City, to do Kansas City barbecue. There's 145 to 150 independent barbecue restaurants here in the city. To be one of those is amazing. But to be at Arrowhead and serve Kansas City barbecue, nothing I'm more proud of. The home for tailgating, I mean, there's just such a barbecue, grilling, tailgating tradition at Arrowhead that, outside of maybe winning the American Royal, which is also here in Kansas City, being with the Chiefs was right up there too. So probably those two things are the biggest feathers in my cap that I'm most proud of. For a farm kid from Iowa, that's doing pretty good.